will not take.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. We are USA Radio News.
Have you or someone you know used heartburn medications Zantac or ranitidine and been diagnosed with cancer? Zantac and ranitidine have been positively linked to cancer. According to the FDA, Zantac and ranitidine contain NDMA, a known cancer-causing agent. NDMA has been positively linked to cancers of the bladder, pancreas, esophagus, liver, and stomach. Even in single doses and in smaller doses over time, NDMA is one of the strongest proven cancer-causing agents. Call 888-960-1233 or go to ZantacMoney.com. You may be entitled to substantial compensation without going to court if you or a loved one have taken these products in the past 10 years and been diagnosed with cancer. Call now to see if you qualify for free. Call 888-960-1233 or visit ZantacMoney.com to get what may be owed to you. You may be entitled to a cash reward. Find out now at ZantacMoney.com or call 888-960-1233 to see if you qualify for free.
Some safety tips to consider when visiting farmers markets. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
I'm Agriculture Commissioner Nikki Freed. Everyone knows Florida grows the world's best produce. From citrus to strawberries, watermelon to blueberries, our produce growers feed our families and the world. With over $125 million in annual revenue for growers, the Fresh from Florida program helps Florida farmers stay competitive in a tough marketplace. Learn more at followfreshfromflorida.com.
I was probably a little bit like you. There was a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines. I didn't know what to believe, and I tell you, everyone has an opinion. Some of my friends got vaccinated and some were against it. But I knew this was an important decision, so I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. It's your call, so talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. You can go to GetVaccineAnswers.org for the latest information. That's GetVaccineAnswers.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Farmers markets offer some of the freshest produce and vegetable products you can find, but they also create opportunities to buy locally and support small farmers, ranchers, and agricultural businesses. It's important to keep food safety top of mind when exploring farmers markets in your area. Foodborne illness, for example. Carefully examine produce for large bruises, cuts, and insect holes, as they can potentially store bacteria that hide and spread rapidly to the inner parts of the produce. Then wash produce thoroughly under running water, even if you plan to peel it before eating, cutting, or cooking. Bacteria can be present on the outside of foods, such as a watermelon or mangoes, which can be transferred to the inside when you cut or peel them. Dry produce with a clean cloth or paper towel to help eliminate bacteria. Refrigerate cut or peeled fruits and vegetables within 2 hours after cutting, peeling, or cooking. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on the source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be mostly sunny, breezy, and warm with a high of 84 to 86, then becoming clear and warm this evening. Low tonight 68 to 72. We'll have variable cloudiness Wednesday, high tomorrow 87 to 91. Then look for a couple of showers and thunderstorms on Thursday, high on Thursday 77 to 86. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
This hour of Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture. Go see all their specials at blockersfurniture.com.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at SonRise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you.
That's right. It's auto repair with personal care with SonRise Auto. The proprietor of SonRise Auto, although he would tell you that he's not the only owner, that his staff is all family-like over there at SonRise Auto. Yeah. He's just the one that writes the checks.
No, actually, I don't even write
You don't
checks
even do that anymore, do
Nope.
you? Matt Gibbs joins us. Matt, good morning.
Morning.
We might need a little fireworks out here. You ready to shoot off some fireworks?
Yeah, come on.
There's birds
I
out there.
see the birds out there on the airport.
Go out and ride around, shoot off fireworks.
Last time I think they catch the field on fire.
Oh yeah, they did. Had to get the fire truck out there and everything. So how's things going at the shop? Busy?
Oh my gosh, dude, it's absolutely crazy.
So, I know that you're an automotive guy, but you also have a little political tint to you.
Yeah.
And I saw a meme the other day that I knew you would like. It said, "I'll buy an electric car when Air Force One flies on electricity."
I'd do that.
Yeah, you'd be the first one there to buy an electric car, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
I thought you'd like that.
Yeah, that was a good
I'll
one.
buy an electric car when Air Force One flies on electricity.
Yeah, it's amazing how you always look at these double standards all across the board.
Well, to charge an electric car, you got to have a diesel-powered or coal-powered generator plant for electricity.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs.
Good morning, Matt.
Am I Sonny?
Sonny again. I haven't driven my wagon all that much, but I've went a couple of 100 miles now. And those tires that you put on are even better on that wagon than they are in my Vibe. It's like it's like a new car to me riding down the road. No rattles, no bumps, no squeaks. You went over the road because you hear it, or bloop, or it was a pothole or whatever. And the other thing, I was in the other day, my grocery getter there, the Vibe. Well, my wife is trying to open a window or close a window, and I'm trying to open it, and vice versa. We're just going back and forth, and all of a sudden the window stopped working. And I mean, what the heck is this? So I tried. The driver's side window worked, but the other three didn't. So anyway, I tried several different times and did everything but hit that reset button or the other button that cancels the window operation out, which I never paid attention to before. And I never hit it by accident either. So I went down to you guys, and Rob came out, and he was putting the plastic over the seat and all that, and he come back in, it's fixed. I said, what? He says, yeah, you hit this button, showed it to me, and he hits this button that resets everything on the windows. And I said, well, okay, how much do I owe? He says, forget it. It's, I didn't do any work. All I did was push a button. So, again, I recommend SonRise and you guys to everybody.
Thank you, sir.
So I just was it was something I should have been able to figure out, but for some reason, you get older, you get a little dumber. Hang up and listen.
I don't think that applies to Sonny. I don't think he gets dumber the older he gets.
No.
I think he gets a little more wiser.
Yeah.
I think he just said he does that.
He just
for
want to come
effect.
by and see us.
Yeah, that effect.
He just
that's
kind
what
of
it
want
is.
to come by and see us.
Yeah, he just wants to see you guys.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, but sometimes it is just that easy.
It is. No.
Without people knowing it. I mean, I didn't realize that. I thought there was some special thing that only mechanics could do. When you go on these new computers and these cars with computers, it says you got 5% oil life. I thought there was something special mechanics did that they could set it back to 100% oil life. I didn't know it was just pressing the button long enough you press the button, get it on it, and then you press the end button on the gear shift on the blinker knob, and it resets. I can reset it anytime I want to.
Yes, but here's the thing.
Yeah.
Every car, it's like you would think, if this is a Toyota, this is what you do for a Toyota.
Yep.
Every car, every model is different. I mean,
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes longer to reset the oil life than it does to change the oil.
Can I tell you how? And you will like this because you'll envision this in your head and laugh at me hard. So I buy the Cadillac in 2016, and Buddy Martin had it, and I bought it from him when he got a Suburban. So okay, I'm driving it. come time to get gas. Well, it's a newer vehicle. Surely it's got a gas. You got to pull up something inside the car to pop the gas door open. So I'm looking all around and everything. I'm in the glove box looking. I'm on the front panel. It's got to be here somewhere. Nowhere at all can I locate how to open the gas door. Yeah, you just go back out and push it with some pressure and it pops open. I mean, I was in a good 5, 6, 7 minutes at the gas station looking for the handle or the knob inside the car to open the gas tank. When really just go press it with your finger and it pops open.
And I'll be honest with you, I have done that so many times because I know how to put gas in my car.
I like it when it was behind when the gas was just behind the license plate.
Oh,
you know,
wow. I hate
you just pulled the license plate down, you put gas in the car. It was easy.
Yeah.
You wanted to siphon gas? Never mind. We won't talk about that.
You can't even get a good siphon.
Well, no. Now the crooks are going around and drilling holes in the gas tanks to drain it because you can't siphon gas anymore.
You can't siphon it anymore.
No. And not that I ever did when I was 16 to get gas for the Nova. Not that I ever did that. Not that I ever did that. Man, gas tastes bad. Not that I would know. Not that I would know.
I have tasted it all, brother. All the fluids of a car I have tasted one way or the other.
Well, I told you when I was 3 years old, one of the reasons my dad knew I probably wasn't going to be a good mechanic is why he kept me away from it. So at 3 years old, I'm in the parts washer, showering underneath the parts washer.
No.
Oh, remember you had the sink that was the part washer?
Yeah, I still got one in my shop right now.
Yeah. I was at 3 years old. He climbed in there, turned it on, and was taking a bath, brother.
Oh, no.
Oh, first-degree burns all over my skin.
Oh, no.
That's probably the time my dad decided, he's not coming in my shop.
We need to get him a different we need to put him somewhere else.
There was numerous times that he'd have to pick me up asleep, and I wouldn't even wake up. I was like, that cat that won't move out of your driveway? I was that. I would fall asleep because the Lube floor was cool. It's Florida. It's hot. I'd be 2, 3, 4 years old. I'd go lay down out in the middle of the shop, right in the middle of one of the racks, so he couldn't pull a car in or anything, because I'd lay on the concrete floor. It was cold. It was cool. And I wouldn't even wake up. They'd be beeping horns and everything. He'd have to pick me up and take me in the back office.
I could not pay my boys to come to my shop when they was little.
Oh, no. My mom made my dad take me so she didn't have to deal with me.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this or not, Matt. I was not always a nice guy.
Oh, really?
It's changed. Yeah, it hadn't changed that much.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've been told that I'm not
much.
a really nice guy either.
Hadn't changed that much. Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs from SonRise Auto.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Hugh.
Say, if you're going for gas, you need gas. You're down pretty low, and you go up to the station, and they're out of regular. Is it okay to put premium in your car that you have never done before? I had a neighbor telling me that you can maybe screw up the computer. Is there any truth to that?
No truth. Matter of fact, the only thing that it's going to screw up is your wallet. You know, you're just going to spend more money. Now, if you want to put premium gas, just know that it's you don't have to. You don't have to put premium gas in it.
It doesn't knock anymore like the old cars.
Yeah, the old cars used to knock and ping and all that. But there are cars like I had a Hellcat for a while, right? That car you had to put premium gas.
Well, you probably should have went and got the 110 from the Sunoco. That's probably what you should have.
I should have, but it was engineered to run on 93 octane. So and it would labor and it would ping if I put regular gas in it.
Right.
Yeah. Say a quick question: why is diesel fuel so much more expensive than gas? What is it? The processing of it, or what is that?
It's okay. So diesel is the byproduct of gasoline. So it's the
diesel's what's left over. Diesel's what's left over, Hugh. When they take the crude oil and refine it to make gasoline, the leftovers is diesel fuel.
Right. Now, okay, so now, today, I will say, diesel fuel today is not like it was 10 years ago.
No.
It's a different fuel. It's more, now this diesel fuel is getting refined, and they're low sulfur.
But it costs more money because of supply and demand.
That's it.
That's why it costs more money. 18-wheelers need it,
That's right.
so they charge more money for it.
That's right. It's all about money.
Do you get a better mileage with diesel?
Oh, absolutely.
You get better everything with diesel. It keeps your engine better lubed and everything. That's why diesel engines last longer.
Yeah. If you take diesel fuel and put it on a piece of paper, just a blank piece of paper, and put gasoline on another piece of paper and wait, the gasoline will be gone. You'll never know that there was ever anything on that piece of paper. The diesel fuel, it'll always be like an oil residue.
Always.
Forever.
Yeah. I know with these newer diesel cars, or even trucks for that matter, they're not as noisy as they used to be. They run pretty quiet, which is nice.
And they actually, back in, I remember when I was working at the Oldsmobile GMC dealership, and we had those late 70, early 80 piece of crap diesel cars.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, they wouldn't pull a greasy string out of a cat's behind.
No.
And they were so loud, and they were so obnoxious, and they stank so much.
And they put out a black fog every time you press the gas.
Crazy. And now these diesels so that right there, that shows me, because when I started in the business, it was in the early 80s. So I kind of grew up on the whole thing. I entered into this industry when the computers started coming out.
Right.
And I came into this when we really started looking at diesels in cars and trucks and whatnot. So I was in the very beginning of this time of the automotive industry. So I've been able to watch with my own eyes how we've progressed, and just take the diesel engine from where it was to where it is. I mean, I can make a diesel engine go out here on this and burn the tire, slap off a truck.
And you couldn't do that with
you
a diesel
couldn't
for
burn
the 80s.
the tires off. You had to have a lighter and a bunch of gas to get the tires to burn on a diesel truck. Where they have come, the technology has gone in,
Here was the dumbest thing. Thanks for the call, Hugh. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Here's the dumbest diesel I ever saw. And people even forget. People will tell me they didn't make that diesel. You go back and look. Sure enough, they did. I had a Volkswagen Rabbit that was a gas Rabbit. And we took and put the cooler, we made the trunk into a cooler and carried a keg around and everything. A buddy of mine, Joe Carter, come rolling up and he goes, I got a Rabbit just like yours. But it was a diesel Rabbit. Volkswagen actually made a 4-cylinder diesel motor for a while. In the early 80s.
Yeah.
Oh, they still do?
They still do.
It's got to be better than that one they put in the Rabbit in the early 80s.
And it's probably one of the most popular, you got to take, now, okay, so we're.
And there were no diesel turbos back then.
Oh, no. But there were, but you had to, you did that.
Right.
You did it in your garage kind of thing, But now the diesel, they're crazy. And in Europe, when gas is, $15, $16 a gallon? Everybody drives diesels. No one drives gas cars in Europe.
No, everything
is diesel.
Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs from SonRise Auto.
Good morning, Sonny again. When you bought a new car, if it was a premium car right away, the manual actually told you this also. You had to burn premium gas. And we had the 73 oil embargo from Saudi Arabia and a couple other countries. I've seen people take heating oil and put it in a Volkswagen Rabbit, and the thing ran like a charm. And they beat the highway tax, they beat everything else. But you couldn't get diesel fuel, so that's what a lot of people did. Now, with the cars with the premium fuel, all I heard was, you got to use premium. Well, a lot of people said, they're not going to put premium in there. They put regular in there, and they had no problems whatsoever. A few people that had a minor problem involved changing the timing a little, and that was it. They, you can't believe everything you read.
You can't.
Anyway, I thought I'd mention that. Have a good day.
Thanks
guys.
for the call. Call back the other caller that was on the line that was waiting to call in. You can call back. Yeah, there you are. Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs from SonRise Auto.
Morning, Tom. Morning, Matt. How are you? Well, definitely heard of the diesel Rabbit. A friend of mine had one in high school. But anyways, my question is, Dodge had transmission rebuilt, had some noise to it. Turned out to be that the flywheel was cracked. Now it is leaking transmission fluid and oil. So I had also read that if you do not support the transmission when you're installing it and taking it back out, that it could ruin the rear main seal, and that would have been the reason my oil is now leaking. Is that correct?
Well, is it okay? So this is an automatic transmission or a manual transmission? You said flywheel.
Yes, sir.
And so a flywheel typically has to do with a manual transmission. And it's a flex.
No, it's an automatic.
Okay, so it's a flex plate.
Rebuilt.
Okay.
Went to go pick it up, and it was making noise. I had been a mechanic years ago, and told the person there at the transmission shop it was making noise, and it was definitely coming from the flywheel area. I had no clue that it was a common issue with Chryslers and Dodges for the flex plate, they call it, or the
flex plate.
Like cracked. Now, when I went back to look at it, it was cracked all the way where you could see it in that half area where the inspection cover comes off. So I can't believe they didn't see that and didn't replace that flywheel.
That's
time.
a shame.
So this is going to be the second or third time that transmission is going to have to come out of there, and it's already leaking oil now and transmission fluid.
Okay. So a lot of times what happens, especially on Chryslers, we see it. I just had one in the shop the other day. It actually, like the bolts, there's 6 bolts that hold the flex plate to the crankshaft. And then that's the part of the flywheel that will actually crack around the bolt holes. And then the flex plate will actually turn, because it'll actually crack all the way around, and it'll turn. And when it turns, it makes everything is now not balanced anymore. Everything is off. So you can have a situation where the flex plate turns, everything is now unbalanced, and it can actually cause like the front pump seal, the bushing, because everything is shaking. There's a vibration there, and cause it to leak transmission fluid there. But if they just rebuilt the transmission, you would think that they would probably go ahead and take care of that part of it. And if I'm replacing a flex plate on a truck, I'm gonna do a rear main seal, because you're right there. Those are one-piece seals. You know, back in the day, you'd have to drop the oil pan, lower the crankshaft, put the 2-piece seal in, put it all back together. But we don't have to do that now. It's a one-piece it's a one-piece rear main seal. If I'm doing a flex plate, I'm replacing the rear main oil seal. That's a no-brainer. Now, as a shop. Okay, if this was done at my shop, I would honestly hope that I would do this for you. If I just had it out rebuilding your transmission and your flywheel's cracked, I'm sorry, but I missed it. That's on me, and that shouldn't be responsibility on you.
That should have been noticed right away. Like I said, I mean, it's been a long time since I've been a mechanic, but as soon as I went and looked and hit it with a flashlight, I was like, oh Lord, look at all those cracks. It was cracked in 5 or 6 different places. Now that was just where you were looking through the inspection cover, and that's half moon, right? So that's a third of the flywheel.
Yeah.
So and supposedly the shop's gonna do the labor, and I got to pay for the flywheel. But now, like I said, I put a piece of cardboard underneath it, and it's leaking oil now too, and transmission fluid in the same area.
Yeah, I would definitely, and as far as the oil goes, I wonder if it may not be a rear main issue, but maybe because there's oil cooler lines. If this is a truck, there's oil cooler lines, there's transmission cooler lines. Just maybe something got hit, something got moved. It's maybe just an O-ring. I don't know. I would definitely have to look at it and see for myself. But I just hope that whoever did it, whatever shop you took it to, I just hope they stand up and do the right thing and take care of you.
I hope so too. Thank you for answering my question.
Yes, sir.
Good day.
Thanks for the call. Everything he just said, I had no clue about. None.
And really, what I hear him saying all this is like he's just a guy that wants to be taken care of. He just wants whoever to do him right.
Did I ever tell you one of the greatest customer service moments I ever had in my life? You know Patrick, he's the guy that runs the shop right next to Advanced Auto up on 200.
No, I don't.
But it's part of.
Yes,
I forget the name of his shop.
That's Batten, right?
Batten.
Yeah.
No, that's on 40. I'm talking about on 200.
Yep.
On 200.
Yep.
I forget the name of it. like Paws or something, Pals or something, because it's after his dog. He's a big Boston Terrier guy. I took my ex-girlfriend. She had just bought, 4 weeks off the car lot, a Honda Civic. And I took it there because we had driven it all over. You get a new car, you drive it all over. So we'd driven it all over, so we'd put 3,800 miles on it in 4 weeks. We were driving it to Orlando every weekend, everything. So I take it into him because he was working with the radio station at the time too. Took it into him, and I said, need an oil change. And they changed the oil. So the next day I get it to go to the Arnold Palmer Invitational.
Oh, wow.
And I get about a mile and a half from the golf tournament and hear a loud boom. And I pull over immediately. Pull over because all the lights, all the oil lights and everything come on. As soon as the boom happens, oil lights come on. So I pull on the side street, immediately I shut the engine off and literally coast on the side street. Because my dad told me if you ever see the oil lights all come on at one time, that means you're losing oil at a rate that the motor can't handle. Shut the motor off and coast to where you can stop. That is one thing he taught me as a mechanic. So I coast. I get there. They get it over to Holler Honda because that's the only place I can get it to. Lo and behold, the oil plug is blown out because it wasn't torqued on there good enough.
I wouldn't say it didn't blow out.
Right.
Fell out.
Right. So, and it probably, the boom I heard was it hitting, coming back and banging against the pressure plate or something. So I take it, I get it done by Holler Honda and everything. Well, I go back to Patrick and say, here's what happened. Here's the bill, everything. He paid that bill in full, wrote me a check for that, and said, I'm going to give you $500 extra just to keep your business. He didn't have to do that.
Right.
That was just, he was so happy he didn't have to replace a motor.
Right.
That he gave me $500 extra to keep my business. And I'm pretty sure, now I don't, I'm married to a different girl now and all, but I'm pretty sure the girl who owned that car still uses Patrick on a regular basis.
Yeah, and
because he took care of.
That's right.
Yeah, just like people come back to you over and over, not because you're a better mechanic than everybody else in the city.
That's right.
You just make sure that everybody's taken well care of at your shop.
That's right. And and here's the thing: we all make mistakes. That's a given. It's like it's not that we're going to make a mistake. It's how do you
handle it
How do you
once
handle it when you do? You know, and it's, to me, it's not very difficult. You don't have to fight. We don't have to argue. We don't have to. No, we just, if it makes sense.
See, and I went in ready for a fight because I was going to say, I went in thinking he's going to say, well, how do you know that what we did, changing the oil, caused that to blow out?
Right.
He was like, we obviously, it was a new technician. We should have checked that a little closer. I'm so sorry it happened. Thank God you didn't lose the motor. How much is the ticket? I gave him the ticket. I'm going to give you $500 extra on it just to keep your business.
See, and I had a situation not too long ago where I hired a young guy that really wants to do this, and I ran into
He made a mistake.
He made a mistake, and in this particular car, it has a lifetime warranty engine.
Right.
Right. Except for they don't warranty an engine when you forget to tighten the drain plug.
Well, you had to go get a new engine.
I couldn't do it because if I installed the engine, it voids
you had to
their
send
warranty.
it to the shop.
I had to send it to the dealership and let them put the engine in, and I wrote the check to the dealership.
Well, but you got a customer for life.
I still see her all the time.
There you go. Matt, speaking of seeing you, where can people find you?
You can find me at 1800 Northwest 10th Street, right here in sunny Ocala.
Matt, talk to you next week.
Yes, sir.
We'll be right back.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
Severe weather is threatening more than 50 million Americans. More than a dozen states from the southern plains to the southeastern coast are facing some type of severe weather risk for the next couple of days. A tornado outbreak has already slammed Texas and parts of Oklahoma Monday. The greatest threat of tornadoes will be a triangle pattern from Houston, Texas, to Memphis, Tennessee, to Tallahassee, Florida, and includes Atlanta and New Orleans. President Biden is sounding the alarm and warned of Russian cyber attacks against the United States, what he called new intelligence concerning Putin's regime.
As I said, the magnitude of Russia's cyber capacity is fairly consequential, and it's coming. The federal government is doing its part to get ready, But under U.S. law, as you all remember, the private sector, all of you, largely decides the protections that you will or will not take.
Thanks for listening. We appreciate it. We are USA Radio News.
If you're concerned about the power grid and want to generate your own supply of off-grid electricity, this will be the most important message you'll hear this year. Here's why. We now have a small number of solar generators back in stock. These emergency backup systems provide life-saving backup power when you need it most. And unlike gas generators, solar generators run quietly, emit no dangerous fumes, and produce an endless supply of free electricity from the sun. Whether it's wildfires, dangerous weather, power grid issues, or just getting off the grid, you'll never have to suffer through painful power outages again. Even better, all this week, radio listeners get over $700 in free off-the-grid bonuses too. Go to mysolar